Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Lucas Live. It is Wednesday, May 6th, 2026. My name is Lucas Tyndale. I have some great guests here today. I want to welcome you guys in. If you're watching live or by replay, we thank you guys for checking us out. We thank you guys for all the love and support. Thank you all for watching the clips that we're putting out, for checking out the show, for making a comment, for liking, following, subscribing. All those things matter. You understand? Like, there's people from out of town and all over the place that we watch and we follow and we comment. We watch their videos, we watch their clips, and that's what allows them to grow. Same thing is true for us. So every second you watch of those clips, whether it's on my page or on someone's page who is on the show, it matters. Every time you like it, every time you comment, every time you save it, every time you share it, that matters. It tells the algorithm that it matters to you, and it matters to us, and it matters to our community, and it will matter to others. So thank you guys so much for doing that. We really appreciate it. We've been having so much fun. I mean, we're like 3 weeks in, I think, so it's been going great. We've had amazing guests. We have some amazing guests here today. We have my friend Wendy Heslink, which her last name, she said it sounds just like it's spelled. And I said I should know that because so does my last name. My last name is Tyndale, for people who don't know. Tin spells 10, right? You guys got it, right? You saw the Wizard of Oz. There was a Tin Man. I ain't the Tin Man. I mean, I got heart, you know what I'm saying? But 10, and then Dell, like the computer, Dell, Dell. If you had a Dell computer, you don't call it a Dell. You call it a Dell. So why do people call me Tyndall? Sick of it. And then they say that my daughter is running track and my kids are playing sports. They'll be like, the Tyndall kid just did something. They'll be like, and then I go up in the press box and we have problems, but it's all good. So Wendy Heslink is here, and my friend Serena Draper Hendershot is here as well. And I hope I said her last name. Her last name's right. I'm glancing over it. I don't know. Okay, right. Yesterday was her birthday, and I reached out to her and was like, you should come on the show. And she was like, of course I will. That wasn't her first response. She was like, probably, I could. I mean, she's been on before, on previous seasons of Lucas Live. Always loved talking to her. She's so reflective about growth and life. And we even talked about some transparent things that even while you walk in faith in life and you walk through things, like life can be challenging sometimes. And we don't always talk about that. And even myself, like you see us on here, like if you think everything is going right in my life every day, you are confused. If you think everything went right this morning, you're confused. I mean, stuff happens, right? Life happens. Even doing a show, I always tell people the amount of things that happen even in a morning just to get the show to go and hope that things work and the camera's acting up and the sound and you're doing a million things, that's life. But the wins go to people who push through and persevere and don't give up. So that's what it's really all about. So I want to say hello to everybody. As you guys come in, say hello in the chat. I'm going to share this broadcast also to my Lucas Live media page. I've been going live to Lucas Tyndale because, that's what that's what my research said. It said go there, and then it'll get more people because it's not a business page. And if you didn't know this, social media does suppress business pages somewhat. I probably shouldn't say that they're listening to me, but it does because it assumes you're a business, you got money. So they're like, we're not pushing all your stuff to the whole world. Why would we do that? You got money or you're making money from being on our platform. So they really want you to pay them something. So they don't give it quite as much reach as they would give a personal page. So sometimes you just have to put it out on the personal page. And again, I'm saying it and they're probably listening and they're gonna suppress. No, just kidding. They're gonna love my stuff because they should. All right, there it is. If you guys are watching live by replay, make sure you share this broadcast as well as you guys get up and get going this morning. We appreciate you guys being here. We're gonna learn today also about some things going on at Centennial Plaza, which I have a great view of, which was just really, really, really confirmed this morning because my guest, Wendy, runs Centennial Plaza. Her and the team there, they run Centennial Plaza in the Civic Center, and they make sure all these great events are planned and scheduled and work. And there's a lot that goes into it. Now that I sit here looking out at Centennial Plaza every day, I realize how much effort they put into it. I think they vacuumed the carpet. I'm like, what is, they're out there vacuuming again. They really work to keep it clean and neat and taken care of. And they're changing light bulbs and changing TV screens. I don't know, but they really want us to have a great place here in downtown Canton, Ohio. So we want to let you guys know all the wonderful things coming so that you guys can support it. That's what it's really about. If we don't support it, we'll be saying what we always say. There's nothing going on here. There's nothing going on in Canton. It's like, there's nothing going on if we don't support it. We have to support things or it doesn't go anywhere. That's just how things go. So let's make sure we are supporting the great things going on in Canton, Ohio. There's also some news today. I understand, unfortunately, issue 4 with SARTA did not pass. And that's unfortunate. Like that kind of makes me sad as I think about it, because I don't know. I understand things are expensive. So any additional cost could be problematic for people, right? So I understand that. However, I think we often take for granted essential services, and without tax revenue, we don't have any. There's so many things that don't exist. We don't realize it. And I know, you can live in a city and we're never quite happy about where the dollars go. They should go to this, that, and the other. But this one was a very clear ask to a very clear thing. And I think it just barely lost, but unfortunately it was voted down. I know they're not going to give up because they're dedicated to the people of this community. They're dedicated to transportation and the need for that. And there is a need for that. And unfortunately, many people look at things and they say, if it's not something I need, then I don't need it. Like, it's not my thing. And unfortunately, they don't support it and they don't want to help pay for it. But that's how communities work. We have to work together in order for things to function. And I just hope they go for it again. And I hope we push it again. And I hope we make it happen again. And I believe the issue 4 was something worthwhile in supporting SARTA. And sorry to see that did not pass. Okay. But there's some other local races that I don't know about. So I'm not going to say any names or anything because I don't know the final results of things, but I will be paying attention to that and hopefully celebrating with some people that they're continuing on. And then we got an election in November as well. So that's most of things now were prelims, sort of. I'm a track dad. Preliminaries, they were prelims, and you got to get to the prelims to get to the finals. So that's what a lot of that was. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go to our guest now. Our first guest here today, again, is the event coordinator, I believe. I hope I'm saying event manager. She'll correct me if I'm wrong. For Centennial Plaza, right here in downtown Canton, Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome my friend, Wendy Heslink. Hello, Wendy. How are you?
Good morning, sir. I'm great. How are you today?
I am wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I am great, except for you came in and you had not seen my studio and my space before, and you're petitioning the city to take over.
I am. I'm going to tell all kinds of nasty rumors about you that aren't true, but they won't know that.
They won't.
And
There's
get you
no way
kicked out of your office because this is gorgeous.
Thank you.
You have an awesome view.
Thank
I need
you.
it.
Well, you can come up and visit anytime and hang out and work.
Okay, 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday, and on weekends for
We
events.
just, we'll split up the cost. It's fine. We'll work it out. Work out something.
All right.
I am.
You're on record with that, so.
Oh, right. Exactly. The cost. Oh, and the cost is huge. It's crazy. I am so grateful to know you and to have met you and doing some events and things. And
Same.
you're you don't just have a job. To me, you're not a person who just has a job. You have something you actually care about. And I think that's something we need in our city is like the people who are doing the thing have to care about the events and they have to care about the people. And I think that's who you are. You actually care. Talk to me a little bit about how you got into this role. Tell them what your role is exactly. And tell me a little bit about how you, like, why did you even apply? How did you get into this role here doing
I
this?
paid Blake. No, I'm just
Okay,
kidding.
Blake. Thank you, Blake. You got a good one there, buddy.
No, I moved here in 2022, started working in the mayor's office, and one of my responsibilities there was taking care of coordinating downtown events all over, not just downtown, all of city events. Fell in love with everything downtown, attended my first Friday and got addicted.
First Friday.
Yes. Position opened up at the Civic Center, and Blake Schilling, the general manager there, for some reason took a chance on this old lady and decided, let's see what she can do with the plaza.
I love that. Shout out to our friend Blake and for taking the chance on a great person. You did well, Blake. You've done well. We're proud of you. And he's such a great guy. I mean, talk to me about who you work with. Who is the team and what are you guys all over? Because it's the Civic Center, Centennial. Talk to us about that.
There's 7 of us on the admin team that handle everything at the Civic Center and here at Centennial Plaza. Blake Schilling is our general manager. This is through a company called Legends Global. I need to clarify, I guess, the city took over management of Centennial Plaza. They've always owned it. They took over management of it from the Pro Football Hall of Fame, who previously had it, and our dear friend who's a hard shoes to fill, Pat Wyatt.
Yes.
But June 1st of last year, our company, Legends Global, took over management of this plaza, and they already had management of the Civic Center. So that's when we kind of all came together. So it is city owned, but not city operated. We are employees of Legends Global.
I didn't. You learn something new every day. Okay, so I didn't realize that. I thought it was now city owned, city operated, city everything. But the city contracts with you all
Correct.
to make sure those things go on. Now, we have some great things coming to Centennial Plaza. Let's talk a little bit about the evolution. When you guys, when did you guys take over?
June 1st, 25.
June 1st, 25. So not been a year yet, right?
Correct.
And so I'm sure at June 1st, it's like the summer's in your face and you just are figuring it out, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Was that
Last year was a great learning summer.
okay? Is that what it was?
That's what we're naming it.
The Summer of Learning. It was. It's a
It
good Netflix
was.
movie coming out called The Summer of Learning at Centennial Plaza.
I don't think anybody watched the movie.
And nobody
but
went. It was just
no.
sad people.
But
looking
it
at
was
each other.
great. It was a huge learning experience. If you're not learning, you're dying. So it was great for us to. We went through with everything that was scheduled for the most part last year, just to learn it all, see how it was run,
Yeah.
what events were here, what worked, what didn't, what we needed to do, how much money we needed to put into it. So it was a great learning experience. And then in the fall, we kind of regrouped, went over a lot of notes, and said, what can we do to make next year a little bit more better?
And we are at next year now.
We are at next year now.
And so, what are you guys doing to make it better?
Well, we have a whole new concert series this year. We have 7 completely separate from First Friday concerts. So that's in addition to our First Friday bands, which Downtown Canton Partnership put together the list of bands for the summer for that. So that opened up our opportunities to have new and exciting and some returning, because we can't have summer without a few of the bands that are coming.
Yes.
We did in special partnership with the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Unfused Brew Hall, the Downtown Canton Partnership, Visit Canton, and Arts and Start grants, and the money that we get from the city for our budget. We have 3 paid concerts, ticketed concerts, and 4 free ones for everyone to come to this summer. That's just one aspect of our summer.
I love that. Let's talk about that briefly. As far as paid versus free, okay. And this is something that I always think it's funny because we live in a community that doesn't want to pay for nothing. Like everything should be free. It should just magically fall out of the sky and be free. When in reality, nothing is free.
That is
And if
true.
you get it for free, somebody else paid for it. That's all. It wasn't really free. But we're grateful that we have so many free events. But you guys added some paid ones, and I think when you live in any city, especially bigger cities, we pay a lot of stuff. First of all, just the price of gas at this point. If you're going to Cleveland for anything, you better buckle up because the cost to just get there is expensive. And then we pay whatever you got to pay. Like only $30 to pay in this parking this lot across from the Guardians game, no problem. And we pay that money and we walk on across the street like nothing happened. And we park wherever and we go to I went to a concert at Rocket Arena. I'm always like, I'm older. So I have like other names in my head. I'm not going to say the names of what it was named before. So I'm like naming stuff. The Gund Arena at Rocket Mortgage and it's Rocket Arena. I took my daughter, went to a Tyler, the Creator concert, which was super fun. So the tickets cost a bunch of money. The parking cost a bunch of money. The merch cost a bunch of money. The food cost a bunch of money. And we just spent a bunch of money and had a great time. And then sometimes when you have things in your community, people are like, don't want to pay anything. So talk to us a little bit about the paid events and the fact that there are some, which I think is a great thing. Who will be there and kind of, is this a $400 per ticket thing or what were we talking about? Talk to
I
us
guarantee
about
it's not $400 a ticket.
You guarantee,
I
right?
guarantee
Even
it.
the best seat in the house.
Yeah,
Okay.
we wouldn't do that to you.
Okay, I
We'd give it to you for
appreciate that.
$3.99.
Okay, thank you.
But we do have 3 paid. It's Red, Wine, and Blue is a rock band that we're really excited about having here, and they have a lot of Ohio history. Then we have our R&B Music Fest with Brownstone and Sunshine Anderson coming. Yeah, we're excited about having them here in July. And then we have Parmalee, who is an up-and-coming country band, coming in July as well. Now, those bands cost a bit more. And you have to understand when you go to promoters and you say, we want to have a concert for a 2,000 person venue, you're already cutting back. I can't compete with venues that hold 20 or 30,000 people.
Right.
Places won't want to come here. And it's outside.
Oh, rewind. Hold on. Did you just say Centennial Plaza holds 2,000 people?
We had 2,000 for Nico Moon last fall.
Did y'all know? I never heard of that. What? 2,000? I'm sorry, I had to have a moment.
And there was room for a little bit more, but 2,000 is comfortable.
I had no idea that we could fit 2,000 people out there. That's but okay. Your point is 2,000 people to people who play bigger venues is a very, very, very small venue,
Correct.
right? And now for me, if I'm going on to perform and 2,000 people want to come out, I'm be like, we doing some things out here, right? But if you've been traveling, Brownstone, some of these other people you're talking about, and they've played much bigger venues, then they're like, they're not just willing to just have this basically like, oh, okay, well then we'll do it for $5. It's like that date is a date that they could book somewhere else, right?
Correct.
So there's still some cost. So explain that to us.
Yep,
You were saying
exactly. The costs go up as the names go up, so the more popular. I'd love to have Bruno Mars here.
I want to have Bruno
He's
Mars
not going to
too.
come to Centennial Plaza. Chances are he won't even come to the Civic Center. We are too small. Why would he settle for a 5,000 seat arena as opposed to a 30, 40, 50, 70,000 seat stadium?
Because the date is the date. That's another Friday, Saturday that he could be somewhere performing.
Exactly, making a lot more money.
Yep.
So we have to charge some of that back. So we want to bring in some bigger names, some higher entertainment, but we can't do that with the budget that we're given,
right,
and work within it. We could spend it all on one concert and have a little bit bigger name, or we can break it up, get a little bit smaller, but still have great entertainment. And that's what we're trying to do.
I like that. You ended your answer right as I was sipping my coffee. That's
Sorry.
That's not nice.
I should have kept going.
You should have just made up something for a few more seconds. Let me sip my coffee. So that makes sense. So the names, they do cost a little bit more. I think for me, it's better though to know that it's right downtown. So what are some of the costs? So like Brownstone's coming. I know I'm excited about that. I think that's really cool. I think I know a lot of people who want to come see that. What are the costs to come see that?
For your ticket?
Yeah, for a ticket.
$25 general admission. Generally, we try to keep everything right around there. And that
Not
covers,
bad at all.
Yeah. And it covers the music, of course, but it covers security because everyone is magged and we have it blocked off for those paid tickets.
Yeah.
So people think, well, it's an open arena. We can just come and watch it. Well, sorry. It's not fair to the people that are paying for the ticket.
Right. Did you just wander in?
So we have it blocked off and we have everyone go through MAG. So we try to make it as secure as possible. We have security all over the place.
Right.
And then like our additional operating costs, we have to have the rigging come in and we have to have trailers or RVs out there for them to use for their green rooms. And there's just a lot of different expenses. So it's not like it's just, let's pay $2,000 and have a band here. No, it's a lot more than that.
Yeah.
And we want to offer a great opportunity for people. And the best part about the whole thing is when we're bringing people downtown, they're not just coming to the concert. They're going into the bars and restaurants, and they might step over at Secondhand Studios, or they might decide to check out Canton Comedy Club and go down to see a show, or hit one of the breweries in town. I mean, that's what we want them here for. That's the goal.
That. And it also brings people from outside the community into the community, which is also a great thing for the community. Because all of our restaurants, all of our hotels, all of our people around benefit from those things. So it is an economic driver to bring things into your community. And if there's a little bit of a cost, $25, I mean, man, that sounds like Chick-fil-A for the family. That's easy to spend $25.
25 is about the average.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them are a little bit more, some are a little less, depending on the cost that it is for us to have those groups come here.
Yeah.
But like last fall when we had our Nico Moon, our first ticketed concert here, I mean, all the stars aligned and it was an amazing concert.
Yeah.
But the DoubleTree was booked. Wow. The next day, the National Historic Presidential Libraries were full. McKinley was experiencing a growth of tourism because people were in town. They wanted to see what else was here. So it just doesn't just benefit the plaza. We don't get a whole lot of that, but it benefits everybody downtown and the area because people come from all over. We had people from South Carolina that I talked to, people from Chicago that came to see him, and they spent their weekend spending money in downtown Canton.
I love it. I love it. I love it. That's so good. Talk to us about tell us some other events. I know you have them here for us. I was like, she doesn't have to remember all these. She has them written down. I mean, it's a lot. What are some other
I'm old.
concerts?
I don't remember as well as I used to.
No, that's okay. Tell us some of the other things that are coming to Centennial.
Well, we're super excited. This summer, we're offering a Summer Wellness in the Plaza series. Thanks to our partnership with the YMCA, the Eric Snow YMCA. Monday mornings from 8 to 9 and Tuesday nights from 5 to 6, we'll be offering yoga on Mondays, Pilates on Tuesday, and then Wednesdays before our fun summer movie series put on by the Palace, we will have a family wellness activity from 5 to 6. So that's in partnership with the YMCA, trying to get people just out and moving. And you don't necessarily see me there on all of those.
You won't be at all.
Well, maybe just watching.
Okay.
We're also trying to reach out more to the arts. So we teamed up with Canton Comedy Boom, and we're having a Kids Doing Comedy event on June 11th. I'm super excited about.
I'll be there too. I
It'll be
can't wait.
awesome. And you better not just be sitting in your office watching. You
I'm
better be there.
hosting, right? And remember, we met out there, the lady. So I'm excited about these things. I can't wait. Kids and comedy. I love kids. I love comedy.
They have a great program there for up and coming kids that just want to have fun. So we're having that showcase on June 11th. Brian Bates is coming in September. We're super excited to have him. And thanks to, again, Canton Comedy Boom for working with us and getting him to come in. We're also doing some family fun events. We've got some new community events coming in. Spirit and Truth Kingdom Ministries is doing a family fun day on July 5th, and they're having a parade in August. We're super excited about the All Love Music Festival. That's all local, Northeast Ohio, Northwest Pennsylvania, some West Virginia. Bands coming in for a full day. That's brand new, that season, this trial run this year for the group of kids that are doing that. The Canton Black Assistants.
Those are bands like high school bands.
No.
Like performing bands.
Correct.
From all okay.
Yep,
Yeah, you
live
said the
music.
kids. I was like, kids.
Well, everyone's kids. Too.
Everybody, okay. Let's clarify, ladies and gentlemen. She didn't mean they're literally kids. These are adults. They're just everybody's kids.
Young adults.
Young adults.
Yes.
Young professionals and stuff.
Well, there's like 14 different bands right now that last I saw the list.
Wow.
So it's going to be a jam-packed day of just a lot of fun. And they'll have food vendors. It'll be a regular festival, so it'll be great.
Love that.
Then we have our Breakfast and Books program kickoff by the Canton Black Assistance Foundation. And DCP is putting on Oktoberfest this year, which is new. Cool. So that's exciting.
That is exciting.
And we've got some art events coming up. There'll be like Make and Take. And I'm still looking, hint, hint, art galleries, on having a some kind of a gallery showcase and showcase some of our local artists at the plaza this summer. So those are just the new things.
Well, I love that. Those are just the new things. Those are great things going on at Centennial Plaza. I think, and for people to, one of the keys obviously is support, right? When Absolutely. You guys reflect on this year, when this year is over, you'll say, what was well attended? What did the people like? What did the people want? And somebody will say, I missed that they don't have yoga anymore. And it'll be like, did you ever go? And I'll be like, no, but I just like that it was there. It's like our idea of things is often different than our support of things. So we have to support these things. And it's so exciting that you guys have so many things going on. And I have to tell you, I'm really excited because it's right outside my front door. You know, it's right outside
keep bragging
my window.
about that.
You know, I got balconies and everything.
You're going to get hurt, Lucas.
So I'm going to be enjoying the thing a lot, and we're going to be we'll be bringing it to you though. We're going to help you guys get a picture from here of what's going on, just to draw you down here. Now we're not going to give away the concerts because that would defeat the purpose, but we'll give you enough to make you want to come down and support. Come back down to First Fridays. But real quick, and we're going to wrap up here in just a minute. Talk to me about the fact that there's a lot of people out there that say, I don't go downtown Canton because it's just so unsafe. I can't go down there. I might get mugged during a concert in that big city. What do you say to those people?
Like you rolled your eyes.
It's like 4 teenagers were fighting at one thing. A couple things, it wasn't that serious, and people have made up this. But then they go to Cleveland and just stroll on down the street with looking at their phone like nothing's going on. Like it's not way more dangerous in Cleveland. Anyway, talk to us about that.
It's all perspective.
Yeah.
Are there people that make bad choices? Yes.
Sure.
But there are a lot of us down here that don't, and that really want to make Canton shine. And I think just the number of businesses the new businesses that are coming in kind of shows that people are investing back into downtown, and people just need to give us a try. Yeah. I had so many people have, last year at the Nico Moon concert, for example, it's like, I've never been downtown before to an event like this. I didn't know that we could even do this. Wow. Well, yeah, come downtown now, visit not only established businesses that are here, but the new ones. There's new businesses coming in, Docs, Unfused, Consumer Bank, and more. I mean, so many of the new galleries, Secondhand April, there's so many new places. Now, they wouldn't be willing to invest in downtown if it was that bad of a place.
Absolutely.
I think it's turning around, and I'm just happy to be a little bit part of it.
Wendy, I appreciate it so much. I look forward to partnering with you and working with you. We were talking about it this morning, to keep the community informed. So you'll have to come back as long as you don't steal my office, and give us some briefings on things going on downtown. I'd love to have you back kind of, as a regular who can pop in and tell us, hey, don't forget this is happening.
Yeah, it'd be great.
We'll auction off we'll get people to buy some tickets live. We'll put the link up or something, to get to these concerts and things.
It's going to be great. And we're, like I said, we're offering a variety. I wish we could offer a lot more. Yes, but we have a limited budget. Yeah. So we're just trying to do the best that we can with what we have and give people something to be proud of down here.
I think it's something to be proud of. And shout out to the Palace Theater. Georgia was here the other day, and their summer series, as you mentioned, with the movies and things going
Every
on.
Wednesday, 7 o'clock.
And you guys have like Ohio State, the Guardian, like you guys have games playing out here too, right?
Yeah, our friends at Jerseys take care of that for us because we're not here all hours of the day and night.
Yeah.
But
You don't
yeah,
want to be here all hours of the day and night.
I love this, but I don't want to live here 24/7. I do have a life.
That's fair.
But yeah, we tried to put all the major games on the Guardians. Of course, in the fall, we've got, we have to watch the Browns because we always are hopeful in August and September.
Yes.
I say that as a Browns fan. Don't come after me.
Don't come after her. Yeah. I always want the Browns to win too. I'm a supporter. I'm like on the fringes. I don't want to be like a fan, but I'm a supporter. I'm a believer in the Browns. I always want the Browns.
Once always.
Yes.
But yeah, we try to appease people. We can't make everyone happy, but we try to show what we can, and the space is there and available. So why not use it?
I love it. Wendy, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
coming on the
Appreciate it.
show. You're going to stay around so we can take a couple pictures afterwards. Awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Wendy Heslink, Centennial Plaza event coordinator, manager. It's a manager. It's manager. She correctly. I got that. All right. So we're about to get ready for our next guest, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I want to thank you guys for being here, tuning in, checking us out. If you're watching us by replay, type replay in the comments so we know you're here as a replay viewer. We appreciate all of our viewers, however you're coming. My next guest is my friend Serena Draper Hendershot. She's scheduled on the show right now, and she just disappeared. So I don't know if she got stage fright and was like, I'm out of here or what, but she was sitting in here the whole time. And then right before it was time to come on the show, she jumped up and sprinted down the hall. I don't know where she went down the steps. I don't know if she went outside. I don't know if she got excited, thought there was a concert at Centennial Plaza, and she's like, I'm gonna be the first one in line for Brownstone. I don't know what happened, but I know she's gonna be back here in just a minute. Again, I want to shout out everybody who's been watching and supporting. Shout out to Dr. Latrice Snodgrass was here the other day. Phenomenal information. If you guys missed that episode, go back and watch that episode. Excellent information. And my man Jake was in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, what a phenomenal, really testimony of coming from the streets, coming from a gang life, coming from so many difficult things to, helping people with their health and wellness and fitness. And their episode together was just absolutely amazing. We have some other great guests coming up. We have a high school senior who is going to be announcing where he will be attending college. He was going to be here today, and then the school threw something at him and said, you have to, some senior meeting. Seniors got to go to a lot of meetings. They make them real professional. You got to get your cap and gown. You got to do all these things. And so he will be joining us on Monday. So he will be making his big announcement. My guest is back. I'm excited. She came back. I was like, man, she just was like, forget this show. I'm not going to be on this show. I'm out of here. I'm leaving. All right, she is here. Her husband is in the comments. What's up, Andre? Thank you so much for being here, checking this out. You guys make sure you share this broadcast. Now I'm gonna make her scoot up, and I'm gonna ask her on here live.
Why would you do that?
I'm gonna ask her live.
I already know what you're gonna.
No,
ask.
I'm gonna ask her about her size. That's what
I knew.
You knew it? Did you know that? Okay. All right. I'm gonna welcome her to the show. My good friend Serena Draper Hendershot. How are you today, my friend?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. Now I'm gonna mess with the camera. I feel like it looks good, but I'm gonna mess with it. Okay, she's messing with her hair. It makes everybody self-conscious. And then I mess with the camera, make it fuzzy. This is me live. This is me live doing stuff, y'all. Just so y'all not messing with the camera live. But I decided I'd put it on her while I do it. She looks like her kids. Or maybe her kids look like her. I don't know. Good morning to my Gloria. Hello. What's going on? What's up, my man? What's going on, Andre? Thank you for being here. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Serena, how are you today? I don't like the way you was looking around. I had the camera all on you, and you was looking around like, what is this place? Where did I land? This is Oz. What is going on here? So first and foremost, happy birthday.
Thank you.
You just celebrated your birthday.
I did.
And you're 30 WON. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
31. Mm-hmm. Like you won. I like that. I like that. So let's dive right into it. How are things going? No. So one of the things. Do the mic push. Sometimes I have to do the mic push live to people. They be trying to be like, yeah, and I'm on the show way back here. So talk to us a little bit. First of all, what's going on with you in life right now? You are a young professional. You still a young professional?
I don't know.
'Cause you getting
I'm
up there.
like, yeah, I'm inching on the other side.
And she was calling me Unc earlier. I was like, I'm not a young professional. Like, yeah, you Unc status. And now she creeping toward it, right? So talk to us a little bit about yourself, your career, being a young professional. Let's start there.
Yeah. So I just turned 31 and I currently work for Shower Group, which is an insurance broker, independent insurance broker. And I've been here for about a year and a half now. But previous to that, my journey career wise, I graduated from Walsh and went straight to United Way, actually. And I was a program manager working with my mentor, Lori Moline, for Get Connected, which has now formed into Mentor Stark.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. And shout out to Lori.
Yes.
And she's retiring.
She is retiring. And it is, for me, it's like I don't know. I have a lot of mixed feelings about it.
You're not gonna let her retire? Thinking about calling her,
I'm
be like,
definitely just gonna miss her.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of where I have been in my career journey actually has a lot to do with the rooms and spaces that she connected me to. And so yeah, it's bittersweet to see that she's on the other side of this. So but it's exciting.
I don't
It's
like how you
exciting.
said the other side. That sounded real morbid. She's on the other
Oh
side.
my God.
She's going toward the light. Come back away from the light, Lori. Okay. All right. She's on the other side of her career and she's given a lot. She's done a lot.
Yeah, she's done a lot. She's given a lot.
More than a lot of people know. I mean,
Yeah,
she is in there with these young people,
exactly.
helping make sure they get to school, appointments, jobs. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not just a facade of like,
It's doing the real work.
she's mentoring while she's running an organization that's talking about mentoring.
Yeah.
Fully hands on. There she is. Lori, we love you. Hello, hello, hello. Serena is a rock star in our community. I agree. That's where we go. That's why I got to talk about your stature.
Yeah.
Because your physical stature does not meet your aura, as the young people would say, right? You have such a powerful something. I don't even know what it is. I just be like, there's something about you,
Jesus.
which is what Jesus, right? So it's funny because I always it almost surprises me. I'm like, she is just a powerhouse, a true giant. And I say that to you jokingly, but seriously, like I really, really, really think the world of you. So again, you were saying your career.
Yeah.
And Lori helped. And there we go.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, I've been kind of everywhere. I've worked in some colleges, so the University of Akron and Walsh University. And then I went over to the Martin Center, which is the old Martin Elementary. That was a Canton
That
City
was before your
school.
time. Don't
Huh?
even play.
I mean, it definitely was
I was about
before
to say,
my
'cause I don't
time.
remember it being Martin Elementary. My
No.
parents- okay, cool.
Definitely before
All right,
my
but-
time, but I worked at the Martin Center, which also houses Third Street Community Church. And then from there, I went over to the health department. So I've had a variety of roles, but in those roles, something that I was super passionate about is really community advocacy and making sure that those who have gone silent really get a voice. Because just with how I grew up, how a lot of my family grew up, and the things that I was learning in college, I just did not understand why were we allowing systems to be built the way that they are, and why so many people are disadvantaged because of those systems. And so just because of my stature and having a bigger voice, a lot of times, a lot of people started to ask me to be in rooms that I never thought I'd see myself in, sitting across tables with CEOs, sitting across tables with executive directors, and they wanted to hear from me as a young person in our community. And from there, it allowed me to get on multiple boards at a time, multiple committees. And through the years, I've gotten around 5 to 7 awards just from being a young professional in this community and using my voice to speak on those things.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
no, I love that. And you're just 31, and what you're talking about, a lot of that was happening in your 20s. and
Yes.
leading up to.
Yes.
So you've done a lot already. And when you did it, my guess is a lot of times people like yourself, you talked about the things that you cared about. You wondered why the systems were set up the way they were.
Yeah.
You weren't like, man, if I can do this, this, and this, I'm gonna get me some awards.
No. No.
That wasn't the idea?
No, that was never the idea. I think the awards just came from the fruit of the work that I was doing. I mean, I'm like constantly sitting on committees, giving my voice to things, volunteering for things, mostly because a lot of people my age weren't in those rooms at all. And so a lot of it came from me recognizing, especially in college, is
Mhm.
that and this is like the weird part of my journey. I actually started as a nursing major at
Mhm.
Walsh. And I could not pass anatomy for the life of me.
Oh,
And on top of that, with my journey in college, I also just wasn't the best student. And I was on a self-discovery path. And
okay.
so
I like that.
a
That's a nice way
lot
to put it. I was doing some self-discovery as I was failing school. Okay, whatever, whatever. Come on.
and because of that, I just wasn't like the best student during that time.
Mhm.
And so I ended up taking an African American history class.
Mhm.
And from that, it just opened up my eyes to a world of different things that I didn't recognize was happening. And so whether that was the policies that were structured versus the history that was actually happening in our country. And if anybody knows who have been to college, we know that our high school education only takes us so far when it comes to really learning about the history of our nation. And so as I'm like sitting through this class, I'm mind blown because a lot of times I was just thinking, oh, the
Why
way
did
I
I
grew
hear
up
this?
was like a personal choice. Like it
Mm.
was my mom was a single mom out of a personal choice. She had to struggle and have three jobs out of a personal choice.
Wow.
And I recognized that it wasn't just a personal choice. It was actually the way that policies and systems were set up that actually worked against her advancing and a lot of us advancing. And so from there it just really I just really started to get super intrigued. Ended up doing a lot of community work in college. So actually this was back when Thomas West was a councilman.
Okay. Shout out to Thomas West.
Nemashilla Park, we went over there and we did some community work over there. And then I also worked at Central San Jose, which was a immigrant asylum company. And from both of those experiences, you really get to see the heart of the city. You really get
Mhm.
to understand why serving people truly matters. And it
So, why does serving people really matter? Like to so many people, because people are struggling.
Yeah.
People are the people who could be serving people are struggling themselves. For instance, and this is just a funny example to me. I'm at the gas station pumping gas for $472 a gallon. And when I'm right before I pump the gas, they say, "Do you want to donate to something?" I'm like, "Do you want to donate to me?" Right? They're not gonna Giant Eagle. And I was like, my thing, they're like, "Do you want to donate to the food bank?" I'm like, kinda, but it costs so much just to get these groceries. I got
No,
three
for
things
sure.
right here, and it's $300. Everything costs $100 a
For
piece.
sure.
So there, I think when it comes to things, there's a lot of people who have a mind to do a thing, but they don't have the will, the heart. I don't know what it is. Maybe you can help us understand this. What do you say to people out there who are like, I think about doing good, but I'm so busy trying to tread water in my own life that I don't, and it's not just money. I'm not just literally talking money.
Yeah.
I can't manage my own time, my own kids, my own stuff. How can I mentor Stark? How can I mentor? What do you say to those people? You have children, you have a family.
Yeah.
What do you say to those
I think
people?
one of the things I've been learning is that you have to do things in your own capacity.
Mm.
I think a lot of people think that it needs to be this structured, you go and volunteer for a community. I think the
Every
easiest
week
way,
at three
yeah,
o'clock.
you don't have
It
to
doesn't have
do
to
it
be that.
that
Okay.
way. And I think a lot of people kind of forget that you can mentor within the families that you already have. If
Mm.
you have nephews, if you have nieces, like those are the people that you could be speaking life into right
Mm.
now. And then the other side of it is making sure that you're doing it in the sense of like coming alongside somebody and making sure you're doing it where they're doing life with you. And so,
Yes.
what does that look like? It's taking a young person, like bringing them over for dinner. You don't have to go and take them out for dinner.
Mm.
They can actually come over to your house and
You were already
be,
cooking,
yes, you're already
right? It's
cooking.
going on the plate.
You're already doing that. And so, I think that a lot of times people don't understand that it doesn't need to be outside of their capacity. It can be within their capacity, but also making sure they're doing life with someone alongside them. And to be honest, it's not something I'm fully doing right now in this season, but it is stuff that I was doing beforehand. It looked like my my friend just coming over and watching my kids with me and playing with me in that way. And so, like, just making sure that you are doing it to the sense of it's somebody actually doing life with you and not trying to make it's other things that are outside of that. I think that is what is really helpful.
I love that. I want to go to some of the comments here. Shout out to some of the people. Shantae Metcalf says, amazing advocate and woman.
Hi, Shantae.
Thank you so much for checking out the show. Thank you for your support. She's been in the comments a lot. Appreciate that. Elise, it's over at SCUMBA, Stark County Minority Business Association. We are in the Kurt Schering Innovation Hub here at Lucas Live Media Studios here. She says, so proud of my girl. She inspires me to keep going in this community. And that's a powerful thing because Elise is literally in a position where she's constantly working with the community. And to know that you're someone who has inspired her to do that, I think means a lot. Lori was saying yes to everything you're saying. She was saying yes. Your husband said, praise God for everything she's doing. I love that. I love that. I love that. So, so let's talk about the fact that this stuff, like all of life isn't always easy. I think this is something you and I were kind of talking about, right? Living for God, walking with Christ, doing all the things, trying to be good in the community, being a mom, a wife, a worker, right? It's like life is not always easy. And I think that's something that we kind of talked about, the fact that people have some misconception, or maybe they look at certain people from the outside in and they think, well, she must have it all together.
Yeah.
Let's just have an open thought about that. What's your take on the fact that, you know, we have some challenges sometimes, even though you're trying to walk with God and do all the right things?
Right. So for those who don't know me, I'm very strong in my faith, but I have not always been that way. And I think that there is this misconception that I have been a Christian that has been surrendered in my lifestyle for a long time. And that's just really not the case, especially when I went off to college. One of the things that I've been reflecting on is I actually just hit that I have been 10 years sober. And that's a huge deal because in college, I became unrecognizable to myself. And sober as in I just completely used alcohol almost every day, to the point of there were blackouts, just a lot of different things that I think about and the choices that I was making in those moments, just truly changed the trajectory of my life. And from there, like just reflecting that it's been 10 years. I mean, my last like real instance was my 21st birthday and I just turned 31, right? And so thinking back on that and the decisions that I was making during that time, it's a huge thing. And one of the reasons why I decided to be completely sober is because of the family that I come from. I have a line of addicts that are in my family, unfortunately, whether that is drugs or whether that is alcohol. And the thing is, when it came down to it, it honestly came down to I'm very small in stature, so it only takes so much to have that happen.
I wasn't gonna say that. I was like, 2 sips. And she's like, what happened?
And so from there, I just really, it was just a wake up call because like I said, I was becoming unrecognizable. And my first time that I recognized that is when I started going to counseling when I was in college. I had just got back from the Army, and one of my counselors, she just asked me, she's like, why do you believe that you're the common denominator in your story? And everything that you tell me, you're the common denominator
As
here.
in some fault in it, or what do you mean?
I would say in some fault because there was a lot of things that I was
Like-
just processing,
Right.
whether it was like relationships, my friendships.
Oh, and she was saying you are the common denominator. You need to start owning and figuring out what it is.
Yeah,
Interesting.
and why,
Okay.
and why was
Okay.
that happening?
Yep.
And a lot of things, like something that I recognize is that a lot of things stem from our childhood.
Yeah.
A lot of that, whether it's the abandonment issues, whether it's neglect, whether it's not feeling like you belong, not feeling like you're chosen, that was something that really stemmed into some of the decisions that I was making. And from there, actually led to a very life altering decision for me that I didn't think I would still have issues processing even to this day, if that makes sense. And so I think from there, it's this like, why why is somebody so like dedicated to their faith now? I think it's because I have watched how God has truly saved me from very devastating situations. And even just last year, like I a lot of times on my birthday, what I do is I do a self reflection and I try to think about the ways in which I have grown through the year or the ways in which I want to grow in the next year. I use it as like a New Year's resolution, even though I'm not really into those things, but it's more of this like reflection of the simple fact that I'm even here and I made it another year is a huge deal.
Yes.
And so in that, I was looking back on last year, and last year was a very devastating time. I was so excited to turn 30. And then yet when I looked back at like my journals and what I wrote nothing. I wrote nothing about my 30th birthday. And that just really wrecked me yesterday because I'm like, I was in such a state of despair that I could not actually reflect on my life. And why was that despair? I was going through so many transitions. I had just came from being a stay-at-home mom for 2 years with my kids. And so that was a huge deal. And that wasn't a decision that I would have made on my own. I am a very career-driven, ambitious.
Being a stay-at-home mom is not a decision you would have
No,
made.
I would have never made that on my own. And it was just something I really felt called to, especially when I think about the way I grew up in my childhood. I wanted to be present and disciple my own children because I didn't get that growing up. And so I think that in this journey of trying to understand the way that my life has transitioned, so even from that time in college up until even now, I've had so many devastating losses from my aunt who raised me to my mom when I was pregnant, to my uncle who raised me. He passed away in 2020. And in those losses, like it has came with excruciating pain, excruciating pain. And instead of using that pain as like my prison, I've tried to use that as my platform and just to continue to like push through some of those issues because I know I could have picked up something else. I could have picked up the alcohol again. I could have picked up drugs. I could have picked up all of these other outlets. But I recognized that I didn't want to be in the bondage of my pain. I actually wanted to live in the freedom of it.
That is so well said. And I think a lot of times I'm always fascinated when people reflect on things within the last year,
Yeah.
right? Because it's easy. Well, maybe it's not easy, but it's easier to reflect on who I used to be a long time ago. Even you saying 10 years sober, I've never heard you say that.
No,
Have you ever said that?
I've never said it. I just started saying it.
I was sitting here thinking I must have missed that post because I don't remember. Like I know her. I'm like I've never heard you, discuss that. I think a lot of people look at college in those years as like a time. Well, it was a time, but who I was back then, right? I got some young adult children myself right now. I know sometimes they're having a time, and I have to reach out to them like, you better sit yourself down. But to realize that it wasn't just a college kind of a party kind of thing, it became something that was just a
Coping mechanism.
coping mechanism that you're leaning on. It's not like I'm at the party. It's like I'm just here and I need something to drink. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
And when did you realize? Was it within the last few months, or when was it that you realized like I would proudly say that I am now 10 years sober? Because I think for most people, they'd be like, it's been 10 years. I didn't realize it at year 5. I didn't realize it at year 6. Why in the world would I start telling people I'm 10 years sober? Now I got to be in one of those categories of people who come from some level of addiction.
Yeah.
When did you realize it, and why are you embracing that as something you talk about?
It's actually something I realized as I've been in therapy the last couple of months. And what made me realize it is because there's so many things that I recognized I was picking up in my 20s that I thought defined me. And it's not even so much that I want the 10-year sober to define me because that's not at all what I want to say.
Right.
It's more of me saying it out loud so that people recognize, because I watch drinking is such a casual thing that we do, right? Like there's happy hour this, happy hour that. And a lot of times, so many people have asked me, oh, like, why don't you? And it's just like, I actually just can't.
You don't drink at all?
I can't. Like I legitimately do not have a taste for alcohol anymore. Like I will literally throw up anytime it is around me.
Really?
Yes. And the reason for that is because around the time where I like wanted to put it down, my prayer was like, God, you need to take this taste from me.
Wow.
You have to. Because basically alcohol was becoming juice to me. Like it was just like another drink that I could just
Sure.
pick up and, it's
Anytime.
nothing,
Yep.
And so I completely asked for the taste to just be completely gone from me. And when I recognized that, I literally can't even be around it without like when I smell it, like it's an absolute disgust to me. I knew how free I was from it then. And I had to be free from it because I watched my parents, I watched so many people in my life make terrible decisions because of that reliance on it.
Right.
And I think like recognizing that it's been 10 years, it hit me because I'm like, I also watched how it took the first year or the first 5 years of my 20s.
Wow.
Or I should say 18 to 20, to 21 or whatever,
Yeah.
like around that time. And it's crazy because I was a late drinker. It's not like I actually drank when I was younger. I didn't drink until college.
Right.
And it became bad within a 2-year span and I had to let it go. It was only a 2-year addiction, I should say. And as I'm sitting in counseling these last couple of months, I'm honestly just recognizing all of these different things that I started to pick up that started to define me. And one of the things in college is that people used to call me Serena Trash Draper, and trash meant like just being on.
You talk about my friend like that? That's not nice. What?
But it was like in a funny way, but
funny
not.
trash. Okay.
Because like I was always on trash in the sense of always doing things I was not supposed to be doing.
Really?
Literally.
You're such a buttoned up person. And I thank God, I pray for my children. And I have wonderful children, but I have young adult children, and young adult children, they have a drink or two every now and again. And they, they're living the young life and in college and those things. And you pray for your kids and you hope that they come out of that, that so many of them, it's what's all around them.
Yeah.
They experience it at some point. As a parent, what can I do? I can't be like, don't do that. And I'm not a person who doesn't drink. I just don't. I just like, I never get drunk.
Yeah.
Like I haven't been drunk since I was 5. I know it sounds crazy, right? So I was 5 years old. No, okay. So when I was little, my mom used to let us sip her drinks, and I'd be like, "Oh, I'm drunk, running around the house acting crazy." There was this funny joke in our family, like Lukey, call me Lukey. Lukey's drunk again. Lukey running around here drunk, and then they make me dance like Michael Jackson in front of company. It was a whole thing. It lasted for years until I was like, I'm too old to be dancing like Michael Jackson and acting drunk. I can't do this anymore. But one thing about it was, while I do think I had a lot of addiction, likely in my family, I also was exposed to it, so it wasn't exciting to me. So when I got older and everybody else was drinking, I was like, well, what you mean? Like, I had that. Or my mom would let me try it.
Yeah.
Like, I could have that at home in a sense, which sounds crazy. But, she wouldn't let us do anything excessive, but we could taste it. So it wasn't as exciting to me. So I was grateful for that. But then I just had this mindset of, there were a lot of bad things that happened in my family, in my home, that I saw, and I saw a lot of drinking. And so I just never wanted to be like that.
Yep.
I never wanted to be present, but not present with my kids.
Exactly.
Like I could see that. I'm like, oh, my mom is here, but she ain't really here.
Right.
Like she can't really do anything for us. And if I needed to go to the emergency room right now, she better not drive me, because I'm gonna be in worse shape
Yeah.
if she takes me. And back in the day, to be honest, drinking and driving, parents just did it. I mean, and people probably still do. I don't do that, but I'm sure and unfortunately people still do it, but it was very normal. And I'm grateful that as an adult, while I will have a drink here or there, I have one drink and I'm like, I could have more. I'm not a little guy, right? I could have a lot of drinks probably, but I don't want to know, because I've said this to my kids, my adult kids. I said, if you ever need me still to come pick you up from a party, come do something to get you out of a situation or to be there for you, I can't be like, well, I'm drunk, I can't come. I can't help you. So I'm the designated father in my mind. I'm the designated husband. I'm the designated friend. I'm somebody who, well, he's not going to be somewhere drunk and unable to do it. So I understand your place in life with that. So as you continue to think about this, to me, I really appreciate you sharing this, because you do seem like a person, and this is not fair, who, I don't want to say has it all together, because nobody has it all together. Like, you got a lot of it. It seemed like she got about 95, 96, 7% of it together. but you would say you're still on a journey,
Yeah,
right? Now,
for sure.
life is not necessarily drinking, but to people out there who are dealing with things, talk to us a little bit about it. Is it life, parenting? Like, what is life like that you say people are still, even at 31,
Mhm.
still kind of going through and growing through?
Yeah, I think right now, my biggest challenge is even in my career.
Mhm.
I think that as a young person who has been gifted and had a lot of people speak into my life as being
Mhm.
gifted,
Right.
and then come into my 20s, I have all these accolades and all these things. I'm at this place in my career journey in my professional life where like I feel like I'm hitting a plateau
Mm.
and like it's not really moving up. And it's not in a sense of the role that I'm in, it's not in the sense of even the spaces that I'm in. It's just when you've done so much so young,
Mhm.
you recognize that it's not really about being in certain rooms anymore. It's actually about having an expertise in a certain area.
Mm.
And that's something that I'm trying to, because to be honest, I can be seen as a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Like I've worked in the colleges, I've worked
Mhm.
in nonprofits, I've been in the military, very strong in my faith. Like there's so many things that I've done being
Right.
so young that I'm trying to figure out like what is Serena's lane now
Yeah.
and what does that actually mean for me? Especially when I think about all that I have done, how do I bring that all together? And my biggest thing right now is making sure that how I'm bringing that together is actually utilizing my gifts in a way that's going to be effective for our communities, but also for the kingdom of God, because that's my first and foremost
Mhm.
mission here. So I think that's the challenge right now is like as you kind of get out of that young professional mid-level career, it's like, how do you still begin to sharpen those skills to become an expertise in an area where people, you're not just asking to be in the room, people are
Right.
calling you to be in the
Yes.
room. And because a lot of times, especially when you're a young professional, they want to hear from you, they want to know like what your opinion is and all these things. But then like there's a pivot that starts to happen of you're not the youngest in the room anymore. And
Yeah.
I'm learning that even in my job right now. It's like
Uh-huh.
I'm not the youngest anymore. And
Right.
it's very weird. It's a very weird transition. And I'm not saying that I'm the oldest because I'm not.
Mhm.
I'm just not the early college student that just graduated. Like
Right.
I'm the one that's been in my career for the last 10 years.
Right.
And so like what does that look like now? So I think that's a challenge that I feel like me and some of my peers are possibly just working through right now.
And what advice would you give to people who are in that space? Although you're still navigating it,
Mhm.
how are you navigating it, and what would you say to somebody else who's in that same space?
Yeah, I think that you just have to continue to speak up to those who like are leading you and being able to have them help you cultivate those gifts in you. Right now, like I have a mentor for like my industry of insurance, so he helps me really understand what insurance is all about. And then I also have a like a spiritual mentor where she kind of actually helps me work through my relationship with the Lord. And then like Laura's my mentor. Not that I talk to her all the time anymore, but she kind of like does help me work
Yeah.
through my career. And and I will say that that's because that's how I'm wired. I'm wired very relationally. I love relationships. I love the one-on-one. It really helps me learn myself. And so one, I think that you learning yourself and learning how you kind of operate is going to be the biggest thing. But I also do think that people who have kind of already went through the journey, being able to be open to them speaking into your life, I think that's the biggest thing that I'm working on right now is doing that. But also like discipline is huge,
Yeah.
and I'm just not very disciplined. Like
Interesting.
discipline is something that I actually have to work on a lot.
You're so Here's what you are though. Well, it's funny. You're the person. I always try to remember, who did I have this conversation with? I always think about the transparent versus vulnerable, right?
Yeah,
We just had
we
that
had that
conversation
conversation.
maybe a year ago, and it was
Yep.
like there's a difference. You could be transparent but not be vulnerable. You could be opening up about things but not be as vulnerable to go deep enough to
Yeah.
really share something that would move something or move someone. But I do find you to be just I think both transparent and vulnerable. Maybe you've grown over the last year. Maybe that's what's happening. It
I don't
sounds like
know.
you're being more vulnerable as you share these things. But I think a lot of times we don't talk about our deficiencies, not out loud, not
Yeah.
to a lot of people.
Yeah.
We are covering up our imposter syndrome. We are hiding it. We are whatever. And we're all trying to find our way. And that's one of the things I think for me that has made me more empathetic to others is being at my age, which is a little bit older than you, is I haven't figured it out yet. And so what I've come to realize is that it's not like a fatalistic, I'll never figure it out, but it is I believe we are here on a constant journey, and it is not to have figured it out. It is to continue to progress because there is no way to reach the mountain of who all we could be, who all God created us to be in our lifetime.
Yep.
Like, I just don't think it's humanly possible. Spiritually possible. I think God wants to take us there, but that takes a lot.
Yeah.
Like, it takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of structure. It takes a lot of surrender. God made us free will beings with a need for him, which is interesting because it's like, well, I can do whatever I want. Like, you can do whatever you want. But if you really want to go higher, you got to be surrendered. Like, the greatest thing I think that Jesus did was model the fact, like, this is how it looks. Most of y'all you ain't gonna cross the street, let alone get on a cross. Like, you're not willing to die to yourself to become what God is calling us to become. And interestingly enough, though, I don't think God is trying to make us become something that's not natural to us, that's not already in us. He's not like, you're round and I'm trying to get you in a square peg and I'm trying to make it hard. He's like, no, who you are supposed to be is natural to you. And when you get in the groove with me, it'll feel right to you because that's what I made you to be. The problem is you've been polluted by the world and money and desire and all this other mess. So now you're trying to rediscover who you are through the rest of your life to become what I called you to be. And that's where surrender comes in. He's like, but then again, I think he's like, you don't have to though. It's like a parent. As your kids get older, you're like, you do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Don't call me for everything. Don't be calling me to get you out of every situation, but I'm not sitting around mad at you all day.
Yeah.
God's not sitting around like, oh, I can't believe it.
And I think like that's why, like for me, even as I was doing my reflection yesterday, I'm usually writing down goals. Like, oh, in 5 years I want to be here, and 2 years I want to be here.
Right.
I didn't do that yesterday. My goals were, I want to be wherever God wants me to be. And that could look like some of those desires that I do have.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I have realized in all my pursuing and and let's be honest here, Serena wasn't just sitting on these boards and all these things. There was also an approval that I was seeking. There was also attention that I was seeking. And so there's a lot of like, when you aren't getting those things within yourself and you have some insecurities in yourself, like there are certain spaces that you want to continue to search after. I wanted people to speak into me. And so, you're going to see me at this table because I need that attention. I need that approval seeking. And so right now, in taking those 2 years to be at home, I recognize that a lot of some of the things I was striving for were some of the things that I missed when I was a child. And I'm literally doing it in my 20s. I'm literally doing it in these adult years. And I had to let that go. And so now I'm looking at these pages in front of me and I'm like, I just want to be where the Lord wants me to be. That's all that I want. And I want to show up in my character and as a wife and as a mom and as like a sister, friend, all of that. I want to show up authentically me, because also a lot of times we end up being in spaces showing up the way that we expect people to have us show up.
Yes.
Their expectation of us. And I recognize that I was doing that a lot of times. People will see me as the person that challenges the room, that will speak up. And so
now you gotta
I
find
started
something
to do
right.
that. Like,
You
so now I
challenge
have to
something.
do that.
Right.
And so I recognize it's like, I actually am not going to speak on every issue anymore. And I'm sure you actually notice it. You're like, you've been quiet. You're not on
I'm like,
social
what's
media
up?
anymore. And I'm like, there'll be a time when I will speak, and there'll be a time when I don't. And that had to come with learning over the years of what discretion really looked like. Because a lot of times we'll just speak on a lot of issues and it actually discredits us. And I had to realize that my silence is actually more powerful than me using my voice in certain situations.
Whew. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been another. I mean, wow, Serena. Ladies and gentlemen, you may not know this, but I just reached out to Serena yesterday. She came a few weeks ago to see the studio, and we talked about her coming on the show, but we did not nail down a date. I feel like she didn't use my little app and book a date or something. She didn't follow the rules. But I had a guest cancel, and I reached out to her like, I'd love to have you on. And I'm so grateful, one, that you came on such short notice. Thank you. And the fact that you have so much to say and so much right there inside of you, I think shows that you take time and self-reflection and that you're thinking about these things. And I think one thing that a lot of people are missing in life is time alone, just to be quiet and to turn off social media and everything that's going on, because it is, it's washing our mind. And we say brainwash always in a negative sense. Well, you could wash your brain with good stuff too, right? You could be, your algorithm could be set to positive things because that's what you look at. But still, there's nothing greater than time alone, talking, listening to yourself and listening to God, because many of us have a request-based relationship with God.
Oh, yeah.
I come to you with my requests, and I look around to see if you showed up and the gifts are under the tree and the stuff happened and is it here? And that's pretty much the extent of it. And then if it doesn't come, I question whether I messed up or I'm not worthy, or whether I just need to ask some more because my parent must not have heard me. Hey, Dad, remember yesterday when I asked you for the thing? Could we make the thing happen yet? Did I need to do something different for the thing to happen? Hopefully it's not on me. Hopefully it's on you, God. Can you just make it happen?
Yeah.
And we don't listen to nothing.
Nope.
And God is giving us instruction like, well, yeah, you can have it. It's right over there, but you got to take these 3 steps left, 2 steps right, spin around and go get it. It's right there for you. And by the way, I need you to change your mindset, because if you had what you think you wanted, it would mess you up if you weren't ready for it.
Yep.
And I think that's a hard thing for most of us to realize. But for you, it sounds like you take time and reflection. So we're going to wrap this up here in just a minute. You have a notebook. Are you going to read us your journal? Yes.
I mean, no.
Journal live today,
I'm
ladies
not
and
gonna
gentlemen.
read
She's
the
going to read us
journal.
everything she's been thinking for the last 2 years, and we're going to hear it live, breaking news. What do you have here? What have you
Yeah,
got
so
right
these are the 5 lessons that I had wrote out.
let me just say this. You were posting those
Yeah.
online. I really enjoyed that series. I thought it was, again, transparent and vulnerable. And it was a cool way to lead to your birthday. I was like,
Yeah.
how fun. You did a cool countdown, and you shared some things. So yes, thank you for bringing that and sharing that with
Yes.
us today.
So you want me to read
I
all?
do. I want to.
All right. So my first lesson is an aesthetic Christian lifestyle won't sustain you through spiritual warfare. Keep the secret place secret. What you won't grieve, your body will begin to release. And the biggest reason I wrote that lesson is because I feel like Christianity is starting to become this aesthetic thing that everyone's just posting about.
Yeah.
They post their Bible study with the pens open and all that stuff and their coffee. And the thing is, I say that because I was doing it too.
Okay.
And I recognize that I can look the part, but what am I actually doing outside of that? And especially when you're going through something that's super hard, and it's something that truly is like breaking you, the posts don't sustain you.
Yeah.
It's what you're doing in the secret place in your time in prayer that will sustain you.
And even that little bit of attention that you might get where people are like, I needed that.
Yep.
That was great. And it's sometimes what we're seeking is the attention and approval of
Yes.
others. We're not seeking God.
Exactly.
And it's an aesthetic.
Yep, exactly.
Very good.
And then the other part of that is what you won't grieve, your body will begin to release. There's just a lot of things that I've had to grieve over the past couple of years, whether that's the actual loss of people or whether that's the loss of things that I thought were a part of my identity. And the reason why I say your body will start to release is I actually started having panic attacks 2 years ago. And I didn't realize that that's what it was. It's the heavy breathing, it's the uncontrollable crying, it's the rocking back and forth. Those were the signs of my panic attacks. And it honestly came out to, there were so many things that and like I said, I have a hard time being vulnerable. And what that means is I don't emotionally express how something actually makes me feel.
Yeah.
I can give you all the facts of what has happened and all of that, but I don't emotionally really tell you where I'm really at. And so my body has started to release that. And it's eye-opening, I would say. So my second one is, in the midst of our fear, shame, and insecurities, we will inevitably reach for something to ease our pain. And I said, let that be Christ. And one of the reasons for saying that is, like, anytime something is building up in us that causes that shame, that insecurity, a lot of times we're reaching for something. We're either reaching for the likes, we're reaching for the bottle, we're reaching for the drugs, we're reaching for, whatever, an instant connection. And I recognize that a lot of times I was reaching just for my phone to just doom scroll and just scroll. And so I wasn't actually going to God to make sure that those things were happening. And then the next one is, the more you learn about Christ, the more you learn about the depths of who you are. Stay in the word to know him, and you'll eventually find yourself. This one was really hit me because of how I am so self-reflective, and I like to discover myself a lot. I actually recognize that in discovering myself, it also came with a lot of, like, me not actually really knowing who I am, because I was also picking up what people would say about me.
Right.
Oh, like, she challenges the room. Oh, she's a young professional. She does this. And so I was picking up all these identities, and I actually had to realize, like, the more that I actually search the scriptures to know who God is, eventually you find out who you are. And it says that in Genesis. We are literally image bearers. Like, everything that we possess,
Yeah.
everything that God possesses is already within us. And
Yes.
so I had to recognize that.
Love that.
And then my fourth one is, accolades may build our reputation, but our character and presence at home builds our legacy.
Wow.
And then when one healed woman builds another woman to heal, entire communities become whole. So those lessons for me is, there's so many accolades that I have gotten through the years. And when I tell you I am beyond grateful, like, it has meant the world to me. It has changed my life in different ways that I can't even explain to this day. But I also recognize that those accolades came with a cost. It came with me not actually being present at home half the time. It came with me actually neglecting the character that I was supposed to have while I was at home. I can have the character outside of the four walls of my home and be this perfect person to my colleagues and professionals. But there was something about my character that was changing at home, and my family was getting the leftovers of me. And so I recognized that the accolades built my reputation. It really did. I'm known in the community for a certain aesthetic or whatever,
Yeah.
but I had to realize that, honestly, who I am at home is what's really going to build my legacy, and how my kids are going to see me and view me, and how my husband's going to view me. And then the other part of that is, like, a healed woman. My biggest thing right now is, I've watched that as a young person who has been gifted, who has wisdom, a lot of times there actually wasn't a lot of people who, like, walked alongside me. I mean, Lori, for the most part, was, like, the first person that really took me under her wing.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of times it's because a lot of people think, oh, you're the strong one. Like, you don't
Yes.
really need someone,
Yeah.
right? But I'm watching in this season how I've been going to other women who I actually truly adore and want them to speak in my life, and they are healing me in ways that I would have never thought possible. And so just opening that door, because they have healed, or they're working on their healing journey, they're now speaking that back into me. And when I say it makes the whole community whole, is because they're healing me, like, I'm also able to heal my home and heal my kids while I'm at home. So that's my fourth one. And then my
love it.
last one,
Uh-huh.
very last one, is abiding in Christ. And then anything that you build for the kingdom is the only thing that will really last. And that's just, like, what my faith has taught me, is that I can build all these businesses, I can build my whole resume, I can build these things, but at the end of the day, what's really going to last is what I do for the kingdom. And I just truly believe that. And I watched how anything that I tried to do outside of God's will, he either stripped away from me, or I lost it in some capacity. And so I just truly believe that living our lives and being in the foundation of Christ is where we truly find who we are, who we can authentically be. It allows me to actually serve my community in a way that isn't just to show up for the reputation, or show up for those things. It actually allows me to love people well, because I have been loved well, and I understand that because of Christ.
I thank you, Serena. for sharing those 5 points with us. As I said, I watched you share those over the last several days, but hearing you say it is much deeper even than just reading it, right? It's
Yeah.
like you read it, you're like, oh, okay, good point. Hearing you
Mhm.
say it is like there's depth, so much more depth to
Yeah.
it, so much more meaning, and so much more behind it for you that is impacting us as we hear it from people out there who heard that. I hope it moved people, to really reflect on their own life. And it's not about it. It may be for you to take some of those because they are for you. And it's also about you seeking for yourself to say, what do I need to reflect on? What do I need to change? Maybe some of those points are like, well, I knew that one. That one was the one I struggled with, but there's something else that you're dealing with that you're not facing that you need to face for yourself. And that's not just a woman's thing, by the way. We all need to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
And reflect. And I know myself, I'm a very busy person. I think I'm pretty reflective, but at the same time, I'm going.
Mhm.
And so when am I reflecting?
Yeah.
When I'm so busy. And I really do believe that God has purpose for us.
Yep.
My greatest lesson this year, the thing that I think I've learned the most is that God is better than us. And what I mean by that is he's not sitting around looking to swat us and hit us and whoop us and bother us. He just loves us.
Yeah.
And he wants the best for us. And he's patient with us.
Mhm.
And he's not patient out of some obligation. He's patient because he is patient.
Yeah.
He's been around for all of eternity. Imagine you've been around for all of eternity. Time is so minuscule to you.
Yeah.
Like 100 years. What you talking about? You live 100 years, like what 100 years? That's like 2 seconds for me. I've been around forever and I will be around forever. And so he's more patient with us than we are with ourselves, I think. But we have to slow down enough because time is ticking. Like it
Yeah.
just is. Like, you're 31 now. Man, you're getting older fast. Like you're getting up there. But it does go fast.
For
right?
sure, it does.
Wendy's over there like, you guys cut it out. But I'm glad you got to meet Wendy today too. You guys will have to exchange information because I think a lot of what you said will probably resonate. Wendy prayed for me one day. It almost makes me emotional. I was coming in here one day and I was just having a day. You know, like you
Yeah.
have days. I don't even know how she knew. I don't even know what we were talking about. I don't know what was going on. But she said something. She's like, I'll be praying for you. And then she was like, do you mind if I pray for you now? And she prayed for me. I'm like, who stops in the middle of downtown Centennial Plaza to pray for somebody first thing in the morning just because?
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, was yesterday the National Day of Prayer? Or it was recent. It wasn't about a
Tomorrow.
day. It's tomorrow.
Mhm.
It wasn't about a day. It was about a moment where somebody needed it and it mattered. So
For sure.
I applaud you for walking in your faith. I applaud you for going through the journey,
Mhm.
not to have thought I've arrived already, but knowing that it is a continuous journey.
Yeah.
And thank you for sharing it with people. Last thing, there's a Mother's Day event.
Yeah.
You're involved in that.
I am.
And so why don't we shout that out? Because women, because women need, no, I don't mean that at all. Because others need to hear this and know
Yeah.
about this. And what's up with that?
Yeah, so Melanated Mother's Affair. It's a Mother's Day brunch. It'll be Saturday, May 16th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. I am our director of strategy. I'll also be one of the guest speakers there. But our founder, Kara Garner, essentially she came to Miracle, talked about this vision about bringing women together to celebrate womanhood, but also celebrate motherhood. And really, it's our way of just taking our stories back, changing the narrative of what motherhood should look like, but also making sure that we're bridging the generational gap because a lot of times motherhood can be done in silos. I mean, like I had said, I lost my mom. And so I have had a hard time having a village. I had to build my village myself. And so talking about how we can be villages amongst one another, showing up for other women and mothers across the county. And so really it's just a day of
Awesome.
celebration and honoring women and honoring motherhood. And shout out to Kara, shout out to Miracle, and shout out to Kaya. That's our team that's been putting it together. Our tickets are slowly becoming limited because we have been selling a lot. So please get a general admissions ticket. They are $45. I think we will stop selling probably by May 8th. So end of this week or beginning of next week, because that is next Saturday, May 16th at 10 a.m. It'll be at specials occasion. So please come out and celebrate with us.
Love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much again for being my guest today.
Yes, of course.
Phenomenal information. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for being here with us on another episode of Lucas Live. We will be back with you guys really soon. Continue to follow, continue to like, check out the clips that we're putting out. You guys are going to hear some more of this great information from these two great guests who are here today. Let's support the events going on downtown at Centennial Plaza, the Civic Center. If we don't support it, we won't have these things. So let's be out there and let's do it. And again, thank you to Wendy for being here and sharing that information. And thank you to Serena for being here today to share her open insight as she reflects on life and gives us some thoughts as a young professional, as a woman walking with Christ, as someone who is trying to become all that she knows she is. Thank you guys so much for being here with us. We'll see you guys next time on another episode of Lucas Live. Everybody have a great day.